speaker coming through okay? I think it is. Alright, so before we jump into the game, I know I'm a bit late. I pulled a leg muscle waking up. I've been working it back into normal function. Anyway, I figured before jumping into the game, I'm going to try and see if I can figure out what happened to all of the Brotherhood children, and if it was my Armorsmith mod. So I'm trying to take a look through the AA files to see if I can find something obviously broken. Not that. So I'm looking for something that would reference, like, children themselves are their own race in, well, all Bethesda games. There'd be, for example, in Skyrim there was Nordchild, and was there a second one? I think they had two child races, because, you know, there was Nords, Bretons, Redguards, and all that. I think there's only two child races that represent all the children of all the races. I can't recall, but I believe there were, like, for example, like there was Nord, and there I think maybe a Breton child, but there was no Redguard, there was no Khajiit, there was no Elven children. Which is really weird, considering that one of the children in the game, Braith, is clearly white, and she's children of two Redguards. Anyway, I think they make some reference to her being adopted or something like that, but lazy Bethesda, lazy. All you'd have to do is change the body textures. Is it really that complicated? I mean, modders did it. Modders made a child overall, which every race had children. But I digress. So what I'm trying to do here is see if I can find something that's referencing child race. In Fallout 4, there's child and ghoul child. And that's it. Which I suppose is fair enough. This just goes to the top of the list, because it would be in the race name itself. Yeah! Yeah! Right here. Close Squire. See, yeah! The clothes squire can be worn by ghoul children and children. I'm just going to add an entry here. Because it's technically in their inventory, that they just haven't been flagged to wear it. Human child race. So now adults can wear it and children can wear it. I don't know how useful that is, but now they can do it. Any others that I missed in my updates to allow every race, including Nick Valentine. See, that's the main reason I modified all these AA files here, is as you can see down here, for example, the metal left leg can only be worn by humans. So it can't be worn by Gen 1 synths. It couldn't originally be worn by ghouls. That's right, ghouls could not wear metal armor. Gen 2 synths couldn't wear it. Nick Valentine couldn't wear it. So what I did is I went through all the AA files in the entire game and basically added these additional race records so that synths could wear them if you're, you know, for whatever reason, just so like synths could wear them in their equipment, whatever. So ghouls could wear them, so that Nick Valentine could wear any armor you give him. But in my huge go-through of change everything, clearly I missed one for the child. So let's see if I missed any other child records with an overwrite. I'm literally just scrolling down here and I'm trying to see, like, for example, if the thing had a default of a child race, it would say child race up here. So I'm just looking for this line to turn yellow. That one's fine. This is the variant of the faded trench coat for Valentine only. That's because you see the faded trench coat there are two versions in the game. There's the one that Valentine wears, and there's the one that the player wears. The one Valentine wears is the one that has the mechanical hand. If you give him any other suit of clothing, which is I think the reason that they did this the way they did, is that his mechanical hand becomes fully repaired because he's based upon a Gen 2 synth. So by changing his clothes, he would revert back to the default model for a Gen 2 synth, and thus his machine hand is replaced by a regular Gen 2 synth hand. But I find that stupid because it's the one thing I really hate about Dima and Nick Valentine. It's the idea that they have all of this physical damage to their synthetic skin, exposing all the parts underneath. They're supposed to be long-term functioning models, and that all of their inner workings are exposed. I get it on the Gen 1 synths. You know, they're out in the wasteland. They're like the obsolete model that the Institute doesn't give a shit about. When they break down, fine. Hi, Hetero. When they break down, fine. They don't give a shit. But Nick Valentine and Dima should really be taking better care of themselves, because if they break down, that's it. And yet, they have all this exposed machine parts, exposing it to, you know, nuclear rain, the radiation storms, sand, all of this to get inside of their inner workings, and it just makes no sense to me. They should literally be like broken down in a ditch, unable to function because of all the exposed circuitry. It'd be like walking outside with a computer strapped to your back with no panels on it, just open air, running through the rain, running through the radiation glowing sea, running through, you know, underwater, swimming underwater. It's just like, think about that. When I go swimming and Nick follows me, all of his exposed machine parts are exposed to that water. Doesn't make much sense, does it? But I digress. Alright, so is there anything else that's flagging as a child? If it's just that one record, we should be fine, but I think there's also a hat. But they might just use the regular hat. So, of course, when we jump into the game, we're going to be exploring the obvious trap. And then once we're done there, I'll fast travel back to the Prydwen, and I'll fast travel to the railroad. The railroad obviously turned into quest, and the Prydwen to check to make sure I fix the children. Interesting. So, in any other record? There's a few of them. There's a few of them. Interesting. Look at that. Not in all of them. Or is it all of them? It's not in all of them. But some of these have a Pip-Boy override. Look at that. The Silver Shroud has a Pip-Boy override. The Longshoreman has a Pip-Boy override, but not all of them. Interesting. The security helmet, as you see, replaces the hair. The hair in Fallout 4 is broken into two main categories: hair top and hair long. Hair top is, well, the top of your hair. So any of the hair that your character wears is broken into two sections: hair top and hair long. So if you change hair top, that's usually just like the top section of your head, while the hair long is stuff that would flow down to your shoulders or past that. So most helmets replace hair top. Actually, a good number of the things like the security helmet, not security helmet, like the combat helmet and whatnot, they'll actually replace hair long as well, which they don't really need to replace hair long. But when they replace hair long, all of your hair vanishes away. And that makes your character look kind of like they're bald. But if you modify it so it just replaces hair top, then you can still... There might be some clipping issues, obviously, but that means that the longer hair would still be visible coming down the back. See, like here, this one makes perfect sense. Hair top. This is the wig. This is the pompadour wig. So as you can see here, it replaces hair top, hair long, because it's a wig. Another one that I missed. Child uniform. There we go. This is why I'm going incrementally through each one to see if I miss anything. Bandana, Tinker Tom's headgear. Now that's interesting. The synth open face helmet, by default, it replaces hair top, hair long, which, as I've described before, hair long is perfectly. But it also replaces the ring slot. When you wear the open face synth helmet in vanilla Fallout 4, you can't wear your wedding ring. That is strange. Since Gen 2, that's fine. Because I replaced that twice. You notice the ones here that say like dog collar chain. This is for bandanas and dog collars. Humans can actually wear them. Interestingly enough. Under Armour. Anything else referring to the child race? Raider Hood. Slot 32 is face gen head. Interesting. Raider mod hood. Headgear. There's all the Institute lab uniforms. Nothing else here. Here's another one that's a Pip-Boy override. Interesting. This one I might have went a bit overkill on. I place clothes that are worn by dogs with to be worn by humans. Yeah, I'm just going to remove that. These things were never designed to be worn by humans. That's the one problem with just doing mass overwrites. Sometimes you overwrite stuff you really shouldn't. So here we go, Ghoul Race. I think I can leave that one around. Is that all of them? Yep, that's all of them. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to modify the name of this. Because you can modify the name just fine. When the game goes to grab an AA file, it's actually looking for... Where is the number? It's going to look for the For My Day. So you can change the name around all you want. So I'm going to say, just at the front of it, just so it pops up in front of my list, just so I know, child. This way, if I ever have a problem with children textures, I'll know which ones the children are wearing.